Time to talk Florida Gators football right now on The Mark Moses Show.
Oh, you got that right indeed. Welcome back to The Mark Moses Show. Breaking news, Gators got a new football coach. And to break down everything that happened behind the scenes and the reaction of maybe some of the recruits coming to Gainesville in 2015, we got our good friend Andrew Spivey with Gator Country on the phone. Andrew, how you doing today, man?
It's been a long day. The process is finally over, and we can move on to football and recruiting.
It wasn't really shocking that he was named, right? Because we've been waiting about 48 hours for this finally to happen. I mean, why did this take so long when it really came down to it?
Well, at the end of the day, Jeremy Foley went to Colorado believing that the buyout of $7.5 million was going to be able to be brought down a little bit. And when he got out there, the president said, no, we want all $7.5 million. And Jeremy was like, no, I'm not paying $7.5 million. So it was a little bit of back and forth. And basically, Jeremy Foley just said, I'm going to put on my poker face. I'm getting on my jet. I'm heading back to Gainesville. You let me know when y'all come up with something. And off he goes. And, the lawyers and the Colorado State people and Jim McElwain all got involved this morning, got things worked out, and the rest is history. Jim McElwain is the coach of Florida.
You like this? You excited for this guy being the new coach?
I am. I think it's an offensive-minded coach, a guy that brings a lot of energy to the program. Everyone you speak to, from former coaches that coach with him, from former players to high school coaches, everybody you talk to says nothing but great things about Jim. Says he's a very good motivator for the team, is an offensive-minded guy that adjusts his personnel, recruits really well, and gets along with everybody. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody. Florida gets an offensive-minded coach that can score points, and they keep the good guy in the building.
What about the other coaches like DJ Durkin? Is there any word? Because I know I've heard some rumblings that maybe some of the Muschamp coaching staff stays on and helps this guy. I mean, what's the latest on that?
I would expect for DJ Durkin and Tavares Robinson and even Brad Walling to stay on board. Just because it brings some stability to the program in recruiting, that these guys are there. Also, the defense isn't a problem at the University of Florida. 9th-ranked defense in the country, just dominated the Heisman Trophy winner, and Jameis Winston, and one of the top teams in America in Florida State. So defense isn't a problem going forward. So keeping those three guys, you'll still look for an outside linebacker coach. I don't think Coleman Hutzler will stay around. I think it'll be DJ Durkin as the defensive coordinator, but that may change a little bit. So going forward, I think after they meet, maybe tomorrow or Saturday morning before the press conference on Saturday, you'll have a better idea. But I would think those three guys stick around on the defensive side of the ball.
We're with Andrew Spivey, Gator Country, talking about the Florida Gators officially today naming a new head football coach. And what about the recruits? I know you said you've been busy today. You've been talking to these recruits, if it's through text or Twitter. I mean, what is the recruits' reaction to hearing this as a new football coach in Florida?
Well, going in, I thought they would be like, who is that? But I think once the news started going around on Twitter a little bit, these guys started to do some research. And when you name drop Mark Ingram, Julio Jones, those guys that he coached on offense, these guys' eyes get big. Julio Jones is the big name receiver in Atlanta right now, so people know that. Offensively, these guys are very excited. A Miami running back commit, Jordan Scarlett, but it's a great choice. Georgia receiver commit, Van Jefferson. He goes, I'm excited. Can't wait to meet him. So a lot of guys are just excited that there's a new offense in town. And it's that dark cloud that was hanging under Will Muschamp is kind of gone. So, all in all, I think it's a win-win. It'll be interesting to see what their impression is once they get to meet Coach McElwain when he gets on the recruiting road on Sunday. Goes in the home with a lot of guys and brings guys in for official visits next week before the dead period starts. It's a lot of things have to go right for him next week as the dead period starts on December 15th in recruiting.
What is the expectations for year one then, in your mind? Forget fan expectations. Just you, man. You're there 24/7. What's the expectations for year one with this Gator program?
Show improvement on offense. Show that the offense can move the ball on offense, and show that there is a future for these guys under Jim McElwain. Is the problem going to be fixed in 1 year? No. There's going to be offensive line problems next year. You're still dealing with either a redshirt freshman quarterback and Will Greer or a sophomore in Treon Harris, and you're still dealing with some receivers that maybe aren't top caliber guys because of the offense. So you just have to show improvement on the offensive side of the ball. And there's still good backs. Kelvin Taylor is a good back. Marcus Robinson's a good receiver. And Will Greer and Treon Harris are good players. So there is some guys there, but he has to just continue building. Show improvement, 8 wins maybe, somewhere along in that, but just get the ship righted in the right direction. So 2016, people are saying, okay, this team has a chance to compete for that playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree. But there's a part of me, the fan in me is like, no, let's compete for the East. The hell with it. Don't you feel the same way, Andrew?
I agree. I mean, it gets to the point where you're tired of losing. For 5-6 years in a row, it seemed like every year, the first weekend in December, you were either going to Atlanta to watch the Gators play, or you're watching them at home play in the SEC championship game. And I think that needs to get back to where it is. The East is not very good. Again, it's a very talented football team, and to say they would get to Atlanta next year isn't out of the question at all. But I think realistically, we need to think that they just need to compete next year and show improvement and show that they're heading in the right direction.
Are you excited that Colorado State? All right, I'm going to try to say this without laughing. Hey, Colorado State's going to play football in Gainesville in 2017. Are you excited? That was a big icing on the cake, right?
Oh, that's so exciting. They lose D Hart, they lose their quarterback, they lose the receiver. Florida gets what they want. Hey, it's just another spanking in the swamp. And again, there's another point. Jim McElwain has to take over the swamp again. It has to be only Gators get out alive in the swamp again. That was the downfall of Will Muschamp, and Jim doesn't win in the swamp, it'll be the downfall of him.
It's a good point you bring up there, taking back the swamp. Look, Muschamp was an intense guy, right? And he had passion, he cared for it. But I never felt there was like a swagger to the Gators. I never felt that the last 2 years. Do you feel like this is going to be one of these coaches where, all right, we're going to put up points and we're making it hard for you to beat the Florida Gators?
Yes, definitely. I think teams came in scared of Florida's defense, but they knew 10 to 17 points a game was going to win the football game. And they knew the offense was very likely going to give you a touchdown or at least get you in field position to get a touchdown. So it wasn't – not too many teams came to play Florida and were scared. I mean, Georgia Southern, that they beat Florida. You look at Eastern Kentucky, they were running trick plays. They thought they had Florida. That shouldn't be the way it is. So going back to using Florida's athletes in the state of Florida, putting up points, 40 points a game, 35 points a game, somewhere around there, to where you have to be scared of the offense. And then DJ Durkin continues to get the defense going in the right way. This team has a very good chance to be a top contender again. And again, I think they got the right man to lead the charge in Jim McElwain.
All right, here's the thing. I don't know if Gator basketball is that good, because the expectation was set pretty high last season going to the Final Four. Are we really going to be hyping National Signing Day and spring ball this year? Is that what's going to happen for 2015, Andrew?
The basketball team will be fine. Billy Donovan will have them boys ready, and baseball is going to be very good. But football is the top thing, and yes, National Signing Day these next 2 months in recruiting is going to be fun. Spring practice is going to be fun. There's no jobs. Nobody has a job anymore. Everybody has to battle to be that number one spot on the depth chart. And if you're a player, you have to appreciate that. You guys like Adam Lane, the running back, sophomore, hadn't played very much. Will Greer, all those guys, they got to be excited to get out there and go. So marching in Gainesville in that practice field would be great. And also, the Gators announced today they're building an indoor practice facility.
Oh.
So there's another big plot.
I was about to ask you that, because I didn't even believe that the Gators, especially in Florida with how much it rains, they don't have an indoor practice facility. So, man, this is great news, right?
Yeah, it's funny the way that should have been big news. They should have maybe waited until next week to put that out, but it came out today. They're bidding on it, and they said they hope to have it ready by July of 2015. And so, yeah, that'd be great for recruiting, great for the Gators all around it. Jeremy Foley getting his practice facility that Gator fans wanted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Can we both agree? Let's just make sure Missouri doesn't go back to Atlanta next year for a third straight year. Can we just agree on that?
I think Gator fans would rather Missouri go back than Georgia. So I can't exactly argue with you too much there. But yes, absolutely, Missouri can continue to dominate the East, and Florida can't continue to be third and fourth in the East. It should be one or two again, like it usually is. And I think that's the goal going in for Jim McElwain, is to get to Atlanta and then let the playoffs worry about itself from there.
Okay. Do you think we'll end with this? This is more of a trying to be a journalist getting an interview question. Do you think you can get a one-on-one with the new head football coach at the University of Florida?
I wish. Where's he at now? That is my question. The UAA put a block on the plane, so we don't even know where Jim is right now.
Oh.
So if anybody has any tips for Jim, hit me up on Twitter, because we're definitely looking forward to it. But no, it should be fun. Very interesting to see who he hires on his coaching staff, and excited to meet Jim on Saturday in his opening press conference. Again, everything I've heard, he's a great guy, and I look forward to meeting him and working with him.
Oh, the Gators aren't stupid. They're doing it on Saturday, so you won't watch these other games. They're very smart. I like it. His name is Andrew Spivey, Gator Country. Great job always coming on the show talking Florida Gator sports. Andrew, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on Monday.
You got it. Thanks for having me on.